Let me tell you a story. In the cobbled alleys of Montvere, a forgotten city nestled in the valleys of southern France, evil left its footprint twice. The first time in blood, the second in something far stranger. In 1904, a series of gruesome murders shook Montvere to its core. The killer was caught, tried, and executed. But 2 decades later, the killings resumed, with details eerily identical to those from before. The man responsible? Born on the day of the first murderer's death. And when he was finally captured, he said something that chilled investigators to the bone. I came back to finish what I started. Was he a reincarnated soul or something more sinister? Let's begin at the beginning, with the original killer's own words. They called me the Butcher of Montvere. I was never a butcher by trade, but the name stuck. I liked it. Precise, honest. What you will now hear were the murderer's own words. I went in with the shaving blade in my right hand. The streets were quiet. It was late and the bakery closed an hour ago. Window was cracked open like an invitation. I stepped in. I could hear the faint sound of the radio. Opera maybe. I wanted her to hear me come in. Just for a second. I wanted her to know. She was in the pantry, stacking jars. I waited until she turned. One long slice across her throat. The blood sprayed the shelves behind her like red paint across a white canvas. Beautiful. He was just 13, but I didn't care for age, only for silence. He used to whistle in the alley behind my flat every afternoon. Always the same tune. It got in my bones. One day, I followed him home. His father wasn't in. I knocked. He opened the door. I smiled. I pushed the blade under his chin and pulled upward. I stopped the whistling. This one was a message. The town thought it was random. They didn't see the threat. He used to serve me wine in chipped glasses, mock me behind the counter. I slit his wrists and laid him in his own bed, hands folded over his chest. I drew the infinity symbol on the wall in his blood, over and over. It meant something, but only to me. The killer, Adrien Vellac, was arrested after the fourth murder. A local grocer who fought back, leaving deep scratches on Adrien's face. He confessed, but without remorse. At trial, he claimed, "I'm not done yet." The townspeople watched with grim satisfaction as the blade fell on the morning of November 6, 1904. But Montvere did not rest. 21 years later, in 1925, the murders began again. A young man named Lucien Morel, 21 years old, a quiet house painter, was arrested for the brutal killing of a teacher. But what stunned authorities wasn't just the murder, it was the method. Everything mirrored the crimes of Adrien Vellac. When questioned, Lucien said, "I was born to finish it." This is Lucien's autobiography. I've always known, since I was a boy, I saw the blood in my dreams, cobblestone streets, a blade in my hand, and the smell of old wood and copper. I thought I was sick until I stood outside the old bakery. It's different now, but the smell, it brought everything back. She reminded me of my mother, strict, disapproving. She gave me a cold stare once when I delivered paint to her house. That night, I broke in. She slept with her window open, just like before. I used a straight razor, across the throat, silent, clean. They were 8, playing in the yard of Mayor's house. One was left-handed. The other cried a lot. I watched them for weeks. On a foggy morning, I followed them behind the church yard. I covered their mouths with cloth. 1 blade, 2 slashes. 2 more voices silenced. He was writing a book about Adrien Vellac. Said he did not believe in reincarnation. Said monsters die, they don't return. I made sure he saw me. I tied him to his writing desk. I etched infinity on his forehead before I opened his belly like a fish. I wanted him to know. We do return. Lucien Morel's trial caused national uproar. Psychiatric experts testified that he had no prior criminal history, no signs of delusion before the murders began. But he described the original crimes in detail that was never made public. When asked how he knew, he only smiled. I remember. He was sentenced to life in prison. His final words to the court: "Death is only the intermission." Was Lucien Morel truly the reincarnation of Adrien Vellac? Or a disturbed young man who stumbled upon the legend, obsessed until it became his reality? No one knows for sure. But here's the strangest part. Lucien was born on November 6, 1904, the exact morning Adrien was executed. Coincidence? Or something far darker? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love dark mysteries, twisted true crime, and stories that chill your bones, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next horror when it drops. Until then, stay curious, stay careful, and remember, some shadows never really leave.